What's going on, everybody? I am Loush. Ibi couldn't be here today, but he says what's up. And once again, we have our favorite couple, Yazan and Brittany, that train wreck that I just cannot stop looking at. And when things seem like they're at their darkest, when all hope is lost, it seems as though you can count on the uncle. Ah, yes, the uncle. I'm very familiar with uncle diplomacy. It's something that's very common, particularly in the Arab culture, and I'm sure all around the world. The uncle is always there for you. They often take on a neutral position, and they're often the voice of reason. They're kind of like the Switzerland of World War II. They just hang back and they're neutral and they just want everybody to be happy because they're uncles, and being a cool uncle is literally the best thing ever. So it seems like Yazan and Brittany sign up for this help from the Arab Switzerland, and Yazan's uncle steps in. I'm excited to see what he has to say because the only voice of reason really that we've heard is Brittany's father, who said a whole bunch of stuff before she left that made a lot of sense, but unfortunately he hasn't been a part of the process. He hasn't really been a part of the conversation, and I think the distance, the language, the cultural barriers are playing a part in that. So I'm excited to see Yazan's ammo, A-M-O in Arabic, it's ammo, depending on which side of the family the uncle is from. And I'm excited to see where the uncle is coming from. I want to see like whether or not we were kind of on the right path, whether or not like me and Ibi were saying the right things. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
I'm definitely questioning if I've made the right choice moving here. But despite everything, I still love Yazan, and I'm ready to give our relationship another fight. So
I'm sorry guys. I cannot stop thinking about the fact that she's still married. Like, how are we condoning this? I had somebody comment just trying to rip me apart based on my bias, and they were asking for empathy and sympathy and having a heart for Brittany and all this. And by the way, we've been very hard on Yazan, and everybody's entitled to their opinion and point of view, and I'm always open for a conversation, but don't sit here and tell me that I'm biased and that I'm not empathizing with somebody who is lying and buying time just so that she can figure out her divorce with a husband that nobody knows that she has. In Jordan. So I apologize if I'm not going to join you in putting Brittany on a pedestal. As much as Yazan and his culture put pressure and maybe causing some confusion for Brittany, her actions, actually her lack of actions and her lack of honesty is completely inexcusable and doesn't even compare to everything else that's been happening.
So Yazan suggested that we talk to his uncle. He thought he would be...
Ibrahim. Uncle Ibrahim. My father's name Ibrahim. This is my great-grandfather. His name is Ibrahim, and my son is named Ibrahim. And also, Ibi is named Ibrahim. Ibi is his nickname. We are surrounded by that beautiful name. I love it. Big shout out to the uncle. Let's go.
Convince his parents that we need more time to get married.
Who's that? Is that the king's father, maybe? Or maybe the owner of the restaurant?
Fingers crossed.
All right, let's go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Uncle time. That was 5 kisses, more kisses than Yazan has given Brittany since he picked her up at the airport.
How are you? Thank you. Sit.
Okay. Hey, I like that though. I like that vibe. I mean, he passed the vibe check right away where it's like, he's just real, he's straight up, and he's like, yo, we don't need to like put on a face and act fake, kind of like the way Brittany did with Yazan's parents, and be all cordial and everything at the beginning, only to disrespect each other afterwards. And I like the vibe so far from Uncle Ibrahim. Alhamdulillah, kif halak. Okay, Brittany with the Arabic. Wow, I like it.
خالي لأنه أنا دائما بطلع عليه بحسه إنسان مثقف. هو الوحيد اللي ممكن من العائلة يفهمني وبقدر يشرح لأبوي. لأن أبوي بكثير بيستمع له.
Okay.
امبارحيات.
Bit of an influence there in the family.
بعرف على أبوي وأمي. وإنه أحكي مع أبوي عشان موضوع شو لازم نعمله. وقامت لقي عمي. مشكلة وقال لي إنه بدني أنا تعطي في حجج عشان الجواز. هيك هم ماخذين فكرة. بريتني قالت له إنه أبوها بده يجي لهسه ما وقعنا لقدام.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I said that my parents, what's happened.
Good for her for pointing out the obvious and stopping Yazan in his tracks to make sure that she's a part of the conversation. That's key. I love that.
Like yesterday, why my parents like so angry?
I'm already so confused. I know they're talking about me, but everything is in Arabic. All I'm hoping is Yazan is asking his uncle to buy us some time.
هي أنا اللي بدي.
All I'm hoping, that's it? That's it? That's all you're hoping for? You're not hoping that Yazan's uncle can explain the cultural differences or maybe elaborate some sort of communication tips or a compromise of some sort. The only thing you're looking for is more time so that you can explain to Yazan's parents that you need to get a divorce before you can be with his son. Like, that's your priority? Oh, man.
نقعد الفترة هاي وتعارف.
هي حاليا ما أسلم.
لا هي حاليا ما أسلمت. ما هو عشان هيك خال أنا بدي الفترة هاي.
أنت بدك تراعي هسه إنه أبوك هاي الشغلة يعني جديد عليه أو مثلا مش راح يتقبلها بسهولة.
هو من الصعب إنه أقنع عيلتي إنه إحنا نستنى شوي أو نعطي حالنا فرصة قبل ما نتجوز. يعني أنا إذا كني بدي أقول لهم إنه أنا وياها بدنا نكون أصحاب. أهلي ضد الموضوع هذا إنه هي هذه شغلة ضد العادات والتقاليد. فهم بدهم يعني إنه أتجوزها وتيجي تأسلم بسرعة. أنا خايف إنها تكره الإسلام.
طبعا. ديننا حرام إنك أنت تجبر إنسان يفوت الإسلام غصب عنه.
Beautiful.
برأيي أو بمعرفتي إنه أبو يزن شوي من المتشددين شوية. بس هي بدها تأسلم يكون قرارها.
Wow. But if she wants to convert to Islam, that should be her decision. Oh my God, it's literally what me and Ibi have been trying to communicate, just showing how transactional this culture can be sometimes, our culture can be sometimes, unfortunately, where you have the rituals and the traditions and the religious checklists that you have to follow regardless of how the two feel about each other, or even in this case, regardless of whether or not one of the parties doesn't necessarily know the faith yet. And so you're putting Yazan's father was ready to put Brittany in a position for her to do something that she may not be wholeheartedly doing, which is wrong. And I absolutely agree with Uncle Ibrahim. I think that he's spot on. His brother is a conservative, and you have to take a more practical approach to this kind of stuff where it's like, listen, if we're going to be together and you want to convert, if you want to, for us to be together, then it has to be because you truly believe and you truly understand all the spiritual components that come with this faith. And if you're down with that, then we're going to be able to have kids and we're going to be able to raise them in a certain way and we're going to be able to celebrate and spiritually live together. Anyways, I absolutely loved it. Let me know what you guys think. But once again, Uncle Arab Switzerland comes through with the save. I hope that this puts some sense into Brittany, although I absolutely despise how the only thing she was looking for was more time. She hopes that Yazan was communicating that out of all things that she could have opened up to and out of all the information she could have collected from Uncle Ibrahim. It's a shame, real shame. Let me know what you guys think. Big shout out to Ibrahim.